Posted by you, Marianne Speaks, Our Justice System Truth. Dear Reddit readers, let me tell you why I'm angry. It's not just what some attorneys do in the courtroom. It's what their behavior does to the rest of us. When people see attorneys lie, twist stories, exaggerate, and defend things they know are wrong, it changes something in the public. It teaches people that truth doesn't matter. It teaches people that money decides everything. It teaches people that justice is a game you win by cheating better than the other side. And when people start believing that, they stop trusting the system. They stop believing the courts will protect them. They stop believing honesty gets you anywhere. Some people start lying because they think that's the only way to survive. Some people stop reporting crimes because they think nothing will happen. Some people take the law into their own hands because they're tired of watching guilty people walk free. Some people lose faith in the whole idea of justice. That's the damage crooked attorneys do, not just to victims, but to the entire community. And yes, I know we need defense attorneys. I know innocent people get framed. I know the system is full of racism, corruption, and bad policing. I know without good attorneys, a lot of innocent people would be sitting in prison. But the ones who abuse their power, the ones who defend the guilty for money, prestige, or ego, they make the whole world feel unsafe. They make people believe the courtroom is a stage, not a place for truth. They make people believe justice is for sale. They make people believe the law only works for the powerful. So when I'm ranting, I'm not ranting just because I'm mad. I'm ranting because I've seen what this does to people. I've seen good people lose hope. I've seen families fall apart. I've seen victims get hurt twice, once by the crime and again by the attorney who defends it like it's a sport. So if any attorney is listening, I'm not here to fight you. I'm here to tell you the truth. Your choices don't just affect your client. They affect the whole community. And I'm here to ask you one thing. How do you sleep at night? Sincerely, Marianne.
Dear Marianne, I ran across your post on Reddit. I heard everything you said. And before I say anything else, let me tell you this. You're not wrong. My name isn't really Ray. I'm using that to protect my family, but I used to be a defense attorney for 15 years, and I need to tell you what that job did to me and what I did to other people. I didn't start out crooked. Most of us don't. We walk into law school wanting to help people, wanting to fight injustice, wanting to be the good guy. But the system changes you, the pressure changes you, the money changes you. You talked about cause and effect. Let me tell you the part you don't see. When you're a young attorney, you're told your job is to win, not to find the truth, not to protect the innocent, just to win. Your mentors teach you how to twist a story, how to bury evidence, how to break a witness without ever raising your voice. They call it strategy. They call it skill. They call it doing your job. And you're right. We don't prove innocence. We prove loopholes. We prove doubt. We prove technicalities. And after a while, you stop asking yourself whether your client did it. You only ask yourself whether you can get them out of it.
You said the public loses trust when they see attorneys lie. You're right, but here's the part that keeps me up at night. We lose trust in ourselves too. I've defended people I knew were guilty. I've watched victims cry on the stand while I tore their credibility apart. I've walked out of court with a win and felt sick to my stomach because I knew justice didn't happen that day. I just happened to be better at the game. And yes, the money mattered, the prestige mattered, the praise mattered. Every time I won a case, the firm celebrated me. Every time I lost, they questioned whether I belonged there. So I learned to win at any cost. You said our choices affect the whole community. You're right again. I've seen families lose hope. I've seen victims walk out of court feeling like the world didn't care about them. And I was part of that. I can't pretend I wasn't. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm telling you this because people need to hear it. Some of us do feel the guilt. Some of us do lose sleep. Some of us do carry the weight of the lives we damaged. And I'm telling you this because you asked the question that haunts me the most. How do I sleep at night? Most nights, I don't.
Dear Marian, I'm responding to your post because it reached me in a way I didn't expect. I read every word you wrote, twice. And as a former defense attorney, I feel obligated to answer you directly, professionally speaking. I could give you the standard explanation, that every person deserves representation, that the burden of proof is on the state, that defense attorneys are a necessary safeguard against corruption, that without us, innocent people would be swallowed by the system. All of that is true. And you already know it. You said it yourself. But the rest of what you wrote, the part about loopholes, money, prestige, and the damage it does to the community, that's the part most attorneys avoid talking about. So I'm gonna drop the professional tone now. I'm gonna speak to you as a man who used to do this job, as someone who has lived with the consequences of it, as someone who can't hide behind lingo language anymore. Because you're right, Marianne. And I need to tell you why. Here's the part I never told anyone, not my colleagues, not my family, not even the clients I defended. I won cases I shouldn't have won. I used loopholes I knew were unethical. I defended men I knew were guilty because the money was good and the praise was better. I watched victims cry on the stand and still tore them apart because it made me look skilled. I told myself it was just the job, but it wasn't. It was me. I became the kind of attorney you're talking about. Dear Marian, I saw your post on Reddit too. And I'll be honest, my first reaction wasn't guilt. It was anger. Not at you, at myself, at the system, at the years I spent pretending I was doing something noble when half the time I was just performing. I'm not gonna hide behind a fake tone. I'm not gonna pretend I'm above any of this. I used to be a defense attorney for almost a decade, and I was good at it. Too good. I could dismantle a witness in 5 minutes. I could turn a guilty man into a misunderstood victim with 3 well-crafted sentences. I could make a jury doubt their own eyes. And the worst part, I was proud of it. You talked about cause and effect. Let me tell you the part that hit me hardest. When attorneys twist the truth long enough, We start twisting ourselves. We stop recognizing the line between strategy and deception. We stop recognizing the line between defending a client and enabling them. I used to tell myself I was protecting people from a corrupt system. And sometimes I was. But other times, I was protecting people from consequences they absolutely earned. You said the public loses trust when they see attorneys lie. You're right. But here's the part I never admitted out loud. We lose trust in the public too. We start believing juries are too emotional. We start believing victims exaggerate. We start believing everyone lies, so we might as well lie better. That mindset destroys you from the inside. It turns you into someone who can justify anything. And once you can justify anything, you can do anything. I defended a man once who hurt people badly. I knew he did it. Everyone knew he did it, but I found a procedural error and I used it. He walked out of that courtroom smiling. The victim's family didn't. That was the day something in me broke, not all at once, just a crack, but cracks spread. You said attorneys make the world feel unsafe. You're right. Because when we win for the wrong reasons, the whole community pays for it. People stop reporting crimes. People stop trusting the courts. People start taking justice into their own hands. And I helped create that. I can't pretend I didn't. I'm not proud of who I was. I'm not proud of the cases I won. I'm not proud of the nights I celebrated victories that should have felt like losses. You asked how we sleep at night. For me, I didn't. Not for years. And that's why I left. I'm not here to defend myself. I'm here because you told the truth. And someone who lived on the other side of that truth needed to say it out loud.
And dear Marianne, I wasn't going to respond. I told myself the other two attorneys said enough. But there's something they didn't touch, something I've carried for years, and if we're being honest here, then I need to say it. My name isn't really Amy, but I used to be a defense attorney for almost 20 years. And the thing I'm guilty of isn't just loopholes or strategy. It's something quieter, something more common, something people don't talk about because it doesn't look like corruption, but it is. You mentioned money. Let me tell you how money really works in this field. It's not always a briefcase full of cash. It's not a shady envelope under a table. Most of the time it's favors, connections, relationships, unspoken agreements. You win a case for a wealthy client, and suddenly you're invited to dinners you never could have afforded. You get referrals from people who expect you to take care of them later. You get access to circles where everyone protects everyone else, not because it's right, but because it's profitable. And once you're in that world, it changes how you practice law. You start giving certain clients more attention because they're connected. You start pushing harder on cases that will get you noticed. You start ignoring the cases that won't make you money. You start defending people you shouldn't because the people around them can help your career. That's the part I'm ashamed of. You talked about cause and effect. Here's mine. I let money and favors decide who deserved my best work. Not justice, not truth, not morality. Money. And the worst part? Nobody told me to do it. I just watched how the system worked and adapted to survive. You said attorneys make the public lose trust. You're right, but here's the part that still haunts me. I made good people lose trust in me. I had clients who were innocent, truly innocent, and I didn't fight for them the way I fought for the wealthy ones. I told myself I was doing my job. I told myself I was being strategic, but the truth is I was choosing who mattered based on what they could do for me. That's the guilt I carry, not just the cases I won for the guilty, but the cases I didn't fight hard enough for when the client couldn't pay. You asked how we sleep at night. For me, I sleep with the knowledge that I failed people who needed me the most, and no amount of money, no favor, no connection has ever made that weight lighter. I'm not proud of who I became. I'm not proud of the choices I made, but I'm telling you this because someone needs to say it out loud. Corruption doesn't always look like a crime. Sometimes it looks like a favor. Sometimes it looks like a handshake. Sometimes it looks like success. And sometimes it looks like me.
All right. Since everybody's confessing and ranting today, let me go ahead and say my piece too. Because if we're talking about attorneys, we damn sure need to talk about judges. Marianne was polite. I'm not. I don't have it in me. I'm the guy who actually got sentenced. I'm the guy who stood there while a judge pretended to be God for 15 minutes and decided the next 10 years of my life like he was ordering lunch. So let me tell you what it feels like on this side of the bench. You want to talk about power? Judges have more power than anybody in that courtroom. More than the attorneys, more than the jury, more than the truth. They can ruin your life with a sentence that takes them 30 seconds to read. And the worst part, some of them enjoy it. Some of them walk in with their mind already made up. Some of them don't even look at you. They look at your file, your charges, your skin, your neighborhood, your past, your face, and boom, decision made. You think attorneys twist the truth? Judges twist people. They'll smile at you like they're being fair, then hit you with a sentence that makes you wonder if they even heard a word you said. They'll talk to you like you're a disappointment they personally raised. They'll lecture you about responsibility while ignoring their own biases. And don't get me started on the politics. Oh, they don't talk about it, but trust me, it's there. Election year, everybody gets harsher sentences. Public pressure, they throw the book at you to look tough on crime, wrong skin color in the wrong courtroom. Good luck. You want to know what my judge told me? He said, I'm making an example out of you. An example like I was a warning sign on the highway, like I wasn't a human being with a family, a job, a future. And here's the part that still burns me. He knew the case was shaky. He knew the evidence wasn't solid. He knew the witness changed her story 3 times, but he didn't care. He cared about looking decisive. He cared about his reputation. He cared about being the big man in the robe. You want cause and effect? Here's mine. I lost 10 years. My kids lost their father. My mother died while I was inside, and the judge who did it, he went home that night, ate dinner, watched TV, and slept like a baby. So yeah, I'm angry. I'm sarcastic. I'm bitter. I earned it.
And if any judge is reading this, any former judge, any current judge, any judge who thinks that robe makes them holy, let me ask you the same question Murray Ann asked the attorneys: how do you sleep at night? Oh, and one more thing, karma is a...
Dear Marianne, and to the man who wrote that last post, I read your words, all of them. My name isn't the one I'm using here, and for reasons you can probably guess, it never will be. But I served as a judge for 23 years, and I'm responding because I recognize myself in what you wrote more than I want to admit. Let me begin the way judges always begin. With distance, with formality, with the tone we hide behind. Judges are trained to speak like the law is separate from us, like our decisions come from a place above emotion, above bias, above humanity. We tell ourselves we're neutral. We tell ourselves we're fair. We tell ourselves we're simply applying the rules. But the truth is, we're human. And sometimes being human is the most dangerous thing a judge can be. You said I looked at your file instead of your face. You're right. I did that more times than I can count. It's easier that way. Files don't cry, files don't have families. Files don't force you to confront the weight of what you're about to do. You said I made up my mind before you spoke. You're right about that too. Judges see patterns, or what we think are patterns, and we start making decisions based on history instead of humanity. We call it efficiency. We call it experience. But sometimes it's bias, sometimes it's fear, sometimes it's pressure. You mentioned politics. Let me tell you something no judge will say publicly. Elections change sentences. Public outrage changes sentences. Media attention changes sentences. A judge who wants to keep his seat becomes harsher, not fairer. And yes, I have sentenced people more harshly than they deserve because I was afraid of looking weak. I have denied appeals I should have granted because I didn't want to be criticized. I have trusted police officers I shouldn't have trusted. I have doubted defendants I should have listened to. You said I went home after sentencing you and slept like a baby. I didn't. Not that night. Not many nights after. There are faces I still see when I close my eyes. People I sentenced who didn't deserve what they got. People I believed too quickly. People I dismissed too easily. People whose lives I changed forever with a decision I made in minutes. You asked how I sleep at night. The truth is, I don't sleep well. Not anymore. Not after understanding the damage I caused. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. I'm not asking for sympathy. I wouldn't accept it. I'm only saying this because someone needs to hear it. Judges are not gods. We are not neutral. We are not immune to pressure, bias, ego, or fear, and sometimes the robe doesn't make us better. It just hides how flawed we really are. To the man who wrote that post, I can't give you back the years you lost. I can't undo what was done to you.
But I can tell you this. You were right to be angry. You were right to call us out. And karma doesn't need a robe to do its work.
Dear Marian, and to the man who wrote that last post, I wasn't going to say anything. I told myself I didn't owe anyone an explanation, but after what happened to me this past year, I can't stay silent anymore. My name isn't the one I'm using here for obvious reasons. But I served as a judge for almost 3 decades, and unlike the first judge who replied, I'm not here because I had a change of heart. I'm here because karma finally caught up with me. You asked how judges sleep at night. Well, I slept just fine for years, decades even. I thought I was untouchable. I thought the robe protected me. I thought the system would always bend in my direction. And then one day it didn't. I found myself standing in front of a judge, a real judge, not the version I pretended to be. And for the first time in my life, I felt what it was like to be on the other side of the bench. No power, no control, no respect, just fear. And let me tell you something. I wasn't treated fairly, not even close. The officers handling my case, they ignored my complaints, they mocked me. They let inmates harass me because of who I used to be. Some even looked the other way when I was attacked. I was denied medical care. I was denied basic dignity. I was denied the very fairness I claimed to uphold. And the whole time I knew exactly what it was, karma. You might wonder what I did to deserve it, so let me stop hiding and tell you. I took favors. Not always money, sometimes influence, sometimes connections, sometimes quiet promises. I ruled in ways that benefited people I knew. I overlooked conflicts of interest. I accepted ex parte conversations I should have shut down. I let my relationships with attorneys sway my decisions. I dismissed cases for people with the right last name. I was harsher on people who couldn't afford a good lawyer. I let my biases masquerade as judicial instinct. And yes, some of my misconduct caught up with me. Not all of it, but enough. You listed examples in your post: bribery, case fixing, hidden connections, abuse of authority. I didn't do all of those things, but I did enough of them that when karma finally came for me, I didn't have the right to complain. I used to think I was above consequences. I used to think the robe made me immune. But when I was standing in that courtroom, hearing a sentence that felt unfair, biased, rushed, and political, I realized I had done the same thing to others for years. You said judges twist people. You're right. I twisted people. I twisted outcomes. I twisted justice. And when the system twisted me back, I finally understood the damage I caused. I'm not here to ask for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. I'm not here to pretend I'm a changed man. I'm here because karma forced me to face myself, and I didn't like what I saw. So to the man who wrote that post, you were right. Judges aren't gods. Some of us are just people who got too much power and not enough accountability. And karma. Karma doesn't care about robes.
Dear Marianne, and to the man who wrote that last post, I wasn't going to say anything. I didn't think I had the right to. But after reading your words, something in me cracked open. My name isn't the one I'm using here, but I served as a judge for many years, and I'm not proud of the woman I became during that time. I'm going to tell you something I've never said publicly, not in court, not to my colleagues, not even to my children. My husband left me after almost 3 decades of marriage. We had 6 children together. We built a life. We built a home. We built a future. And then one day, he walked away. Not for a stranger. Not for someone new, but for a woman who looked like everything I wasn't. I was devastated, I was humiliated, I was angry in a way I didn't know a human being could be angry, and instead of healing, I carried that anger into the courtroom. I didn't realize it at first. I told myself I was being strict. I told myself I was being firm. I told myself I was being fair, but I wasn't. I started seeing my pain in other people. I started seeing my replacement in every woman who reminded me of her. I started ruling with my wound instead of my judgment. And yes, I hurt people. I denied motions I should have granted. I dismissed evidence I should have considered. I ruled against women who had done nothing wrong except resemble the woman who broke my family apart. I became the very thing I swore I'd never be, a biased judge. It got worse. People noticed. Attorneys whispered, defendants complained, patterns emerged, and eventually, someone reported me. I was removed from the bench. I had a breakdown. I was hospitalized. I spent months in treatment trying to understand how I had become so bitter, so blinded, so dangerous. And now I live with the weight of every life I damaged, every mother I failed, every family I hurt, every case I twisted because I couldn't face my own pain. You might think this kind of thing doesn't happen, but it does. Not always in my exact situation, but judges are human. And when a judge's trauma goes untreated, it becomes everyone else's trauma. I'm not telling this story to excuse myself. There is no excuse. I'm telling it because someone needs to understand that bias doesn't always come from hate. Sometimes it comes from heartbreak. Sometimes it comes from wounds that never healed. Sometimes it comes from pain that turns into poison. I can't undo what I did. I can't fix the rulings I made. I can't give those women back the justice they deserved. But I can say this. I'm sorry. I'm truly, deeply sorry, and to anyone reading this, please understand, judges are not immune to trauma, and when we don't deal with it, we deal it out.
Hello everyone, I'm Karma. And before anyone gets nervous, let me make something clear. I'm not here to punish. I'm not here to shame. I'm not here to take sides. I'm here because every story you heard today, every rant, every confession, every wound, every truth was about one thing: cause and effect. Marianne, thank you. You spoke for millions of people who have been hurt by a system that forgot them. Your voice wasn't anger, it was clarity. It was the spark that brought all of this into the light. And to the man who spoke about the judges, thank you. Your pain was raw, but it was honest. You didn't sugarcoat anything. You didn't hide behind politeness. You told the truth the way only someone who lived it can tell it. To the attorneys who confessed, thank you. It takes courage to admit the harm you caused. Your honesty matters, your remorse matters, but understand something. Remorse does not erase consequence. It only reveals it. And to the judges who stepped forward, your stories were heavy, your truths were uncomfortable, but you spoke them anyway, and that matters. But hear me clearly. I am not here to comfort you. I am not here to absolve you. I am not here to rewrite what has already been written. I am the debt collector. I am the balance. I am the scale that never forgets. You see, justice is not just a courtroom. Justice is not just a verdict. Justice is not just a sentence. Justice is a ripple. Every choice creates one. Every action sends one out. And when the scales tip too far for too long, I arrive. I don't come with anger. I don't come with revenge. I come with balance. That is my role. That is my nature. That is my purpose. To the victims listening, I want you to hear this. You were not forgotten. You were not invisible. You were not weak. You were not foolish for trusting the system. You were harmed, and that harm was real. And even when the courtroom failed you, I did not. To those who confess today, I respect your honesty. I acknowledge your courage, but understand this. The scales are still uneven. Your confessions do not erase the weight. They only reveal it. What happens next? That is between you and me. And to everyone listening, remember this. Is cause and effect. Truth always returns. Balance always restores. Nothing done in the dark stays there forever. I am karma. I don't punish. I don't reward. I simply return what was sent out. And when justice is denied, I finish the work.